But this phone, it's like I said, Google did a complete 180. I'll be honest, it took me a while for me to start loving the Pixel. After many failed attempts from Google, at least in my experience, how has the Pixel 10 Pro XL been over the 2 months, and now that it's had some updates that improved performance even more and squashed some bugs as well? It's clear that Google wants more iPhone users to switch over. I mean, just the fact that Google is the first mainstream Android brand that has MagSafe built in kind of solidifies that. I'm not sure why more Android brands are not doing this, especially Samsung. Imagine if Samsung implemented MagSafe into their phones. Just think of all the iPhone users that already have a ton of MagSafe accessories. I believe they are going to be more inclined to switch over. What do you think? If you're thinking of picking up the Pixel 10 Pro XL, maybe for the holidays, right now Best Buy is having like a pre-holiday deal that seems a little too good to be true. They're giving you $300 off of the phone automatically, plus the option to trade your old phone in for up to $700, which means you could potentially get this phone for around like $250, $260. That's not bad. So if you are interested in buying it for yourself or for your loved ones for the holidays, links down below in the video description as well as in the pinned comment. Now, as far as the fit and feel of the Pixel 10 Pro XL, it kind of really reminds me of iPhone, and that's not in a bad way, in a good way. I really do like the way this phone feels in hand, and even the build. I mean, the build quality is just absolutely fantastic. This has got to be my favorite looking Android phone out there. However, what I don't really like is like the glossy rails. I just think it's a bit much. Your fingerprints are going to end up all over it. It's not an issue if you use the case. I like to use my phones naked, so it is what it is. I don't really like that. I kind of like the matte approach, most other flagships are doing. By the way, not sponsored, but this V8 Energy, oh my God, it's like the best thing humanity has ever created. The display is another thing that I love about the Pixel 10 Pro XL, especially now that Google released an update to help with some users having these fuzzy screen issues. So if you're a part of that club, definitely go ahead and make sure to update, because once you do, the screen just becomes magically better. It's an incredible looking display. It gets very bright, 3300 nits, Google claims, but it's kind of closer to around 31, which is still like very, very good. Having a bright display is all good and dandy, of course, but the downside of that is overheating, because more energy goes into the display. The more brighter it is, the more energy it uses, and obviously energy is heat. So if you want a bright display, you better hope the panel is actually efficient, and it is. But not just the panel, the Tensor G5 in this phone, it's incredible. Like Google did such a 180, it's not even funny. Pixels were like notorious for overheating. I mean, don't get me wrong, all phones overheat. But what I mean when I say that is they just overheated way too quickly. I believe it was the Pixel 8 or Pixel 7 that I reviewed. It overheated when I was in the house on a video call. So yeah, but this phone, it's like I said, Google did a complete 180. No signs of overheating. You can record video outside. It's not randomly going to shut off on you. At least it didn't happen yet. I can't tell the future. But with earlier Pixel models, once you go outside and start recording, even if it's just a little warm outside, it would just stop recording. Not with this one though. 120 Hz refresh rate on the Pixel, it's nothing new. However, some people do specifically complain about the Pixel in terms of it being kind of jittery whenever you're scrolling through social media. Now, at first, when I started using the phone, I didn't really notice that, but the more time I spent with it, that's when I started kind of noticing it. This is why I like doing these long-term reviews, because guess what? That bug, I guess it was a bug, has been squashed. The phone now scrolls finally smoothly on social media. So overall, performance of the phone has been kind of, 50-50. It did have some bugs like random system UI crashes or even a bug causing the display to flicker. But again, those bugs have been resolved. The annoying thing is a lot of people are also complaining that depending on the carrier, they're not seeing like a new update come on through their Pixel. So it's always a good idea to check manually if you have an update. All you got to do is go into settings, scroll down to system, and tap on software update. Once you did that, click check for update, even though it says your system is up to date. Believe me, my system was also up to date until I clicked check up for update. And then it was like, oh, you magically have an update. Yeah, why couldn't you have told me that like 20 seconds ago? Now, as far as the user interface and the features, it's a Pixel, arguably the smartest smartphone in the world. I mean, the amount of AI this phone packs in it is super impressive. And the one that continues to shock me is the video boost feature. You can record any video. All you gotta do is just turn on video boost. Once you do that, just click record. Record like you normally do. Once you finish, that video will be sent off to Google's cloud somewhere. I've been trying to find it. I don't know. They've hit it pretty darn well. But after a couple hours of chilling up there in the cloud, it comes back to your phone and you get like a dramatically better video. I mean, if you recorded it in low light, it completely overhauls the video, turning it to either 4K 60 or 8K 30. However, Google, why can't we record 4K 60 HDR? We're heading into 2026 and the Pixel is not capable of recording 4K 60 with HDR turned on. I know you could use video boost, but that takes hours, right? What if I want the video to be looking pretty now? Not to mention, there are mid-range phones out there that can do it. And this is a $1,200 phone. Or $250 if you use the link below and take advantage of the Best Buy deals going on. Don't know how long those will last for, so I don't know. But it's weird, you know, 4K 60 HDR kind of seems to have like been the standard now for like a couple of years. Maybe next year. Google's keyboard is the best though, but I'm not talking about the Google keyboard that you can download. I'm talking about the integrated one. It's honestly too good. The Pixel keyboard, along with the haptics, you know, each time you click and press, you feel the phone vibrate, and it's a very punchy kind of vibration. Typing on the Pixel, like not only am I faster at typing on it than any other phone, but I'm also way more accurate with a lot less autocorrect predictions popping up. Now, this phone might just be the photographer's dream, not because it takes like the best photos in the world. It doesn't. It's pretty much, you know, it's up there, but it doesn't take the best. However, the crazy thing is you can just take a photo and change it the way you want. I mean, you can do anything with it. So if you're a new photographer and, you know, you realize your photo has something in it that you don't want, you can just use Google's incredible AI to erase it. I mean, heck, you can even add flowers to your photo to make the picture look more pleasing. Some call this fake photos, and well, I mean, I would agree, but at the same time, who cares? If you're having fun using it, that's a win in my book. I would much rather have a feature that I have fun using rather than a feature that I use like once a year. Now, the crazy part is you can even use natural language to chat with the AI and let it know what changes you want it to make, and it just does a damn good job at it. Not only does it make the photo look crazy realistic, but it just also understands what you mean. But let's say you want those old school authentic photos. Yeah, well, this phone does a great job at that as well. The photos coming out of this phone, they continue to look incredible, and they will continue to look incredible because, well, they've been improved year over year. Low light photos have been improved, HDR has been improved, and I just really enjoy the photos coming out of the Pixel phones, and this one is no different. Battery life has also been just fantastic. 5,300 milliamp hours to play with. That's a lot. That's a lot of power. And again, unlike older Pixel models, you see where I'm headed with the 180 that I keep talking about. Google went from having their Pixel phones be so inefficient to the point where you almost needed to charge them twice a day if it's a heavy day. They went from that to a phone that you basically never need to charge overnight. Like, this phone has never died on me in one day. It just doesn't happen. Easily an all-day phone into the next day, not quite 2 days, but into the next day. That's really, really good. I was worried that updates were gonna kind of bomb the battery a little bit, because that's what happened on my iPhone 17 Pro Max. That phone also had an insane battery life, and now it's just average. So I was worried this was gonna happen to Pixel. So far, it hasn't. So Google, good job. If you've been using the Pixel 10 series or even the Pixel 9 series, let me know how your experience has been down below in the comments. I'm kind of curious to see what like the average person thinks of Pixel as time goes on. Did it get worse? Did it get better? Let me know. And if you enjoyed today's video, definitely click that like button. It's absolutely free to you, but it helps me and the channel out a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. As always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.